In this module, you might notice module 3.2, subsistence farming and self-sustainability, that I move from the past tense to the present tense. And this is a sort of deliberate decision on my part, because I'm talking about Bosniak peasant pasts, my pasts, in the sense of the way of life of my grandparents. But I'm also talking about the present, because these traditions exist. They're simply very precarious in Bosnia. Although I should note that peasantry across the planet is doing great. Perhaps not great, but it exists in big clusters. Always a threat by industrial agriculture, of course. Subsistence farming and self-sustainability. Subsistence farming in the Bosniak peasant tradition is a largely moneyless economy that relies on self-sustainability and food production to meet a basic human need for food. Experts at seed saving and seed exchange, the peasant way of growing fruits and vegetables depends on little to no money. Economic surplus is minimal and used to buy goods that cannot otherwise be bartered, exchanged, or gifted with neighbors and co-villagers. The food produced is organic, nutritious, juicy, and delicious. Peasant futures are delicious futures. Peasant agricultural and pastoral cycles are embedded in the geographic, climatic, and cultural specificities of the region the food is grown in, which makes for a strong ecological connection between human bodies and their ecological milieus. We are, after all, the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe. The quality and integrity of these elements determines the qualities of human and ecological health. Peasants are experts in keeping high fertility levels in their soils, stewarding the purity of their local waterways and the integrity of their ecosystems. For millennia, they have been attuned to the seasons, foraging in the forests and fields for local varieties of mushroom, teas, hazelnuts, berries, medicinal herbs, and countless other delicious edibles. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, peasants prepare canned goods, dry or ferment some of what they have foraged or cultivated in the warm seasons for winter consumption, and are experts in growing, transforming, cooking, and healing with food. They lead a life of quality rather than quantity. Bosniak peasant villages manage a careful balance between herding and agriculture. Their lives and activities revolve around pastoral and agricultural cycles and the seasons. They produce food with the help of pollinators and friendly microorganisms in the soil, aware that healthy soil means a healthy life. Depleted of minerals and vitamins, soil cannot produce healthy crops, which is why every few years peasants let their fields go fallow for a season. Caring for their sheep, cows, goats, chicken, and other farm animals is as much a source of pride as gardening and cultivating crops. Farm animals are always grass-fed, allowed to roam freely, and offered protection. The health of the soil, produce, and herd is a true measure of peasants' wealth, not money. Today, uprooted from our ancestral peasant lands, our connections with our ecological milieus has been severed. We are all, after all, descendants from peasants, unless, of course, you come from nobility or the mercantile class. We don't have access to fertile lands, lush gardens, healthy crops, ethically raised animals, or edible forests. We have lost our ability to grow our own organic, life-giving food. Instead, transnational industrial agribusiness produce cheap foods with negative social, ecological, and climatic consequences. Industrial farming methods depend on toxic chemicals, including pesticides and herbicides, and genetically modified seeds as expensive inputs. These harm pollinators, friendly insects, and microorganisms in the soil. Biodiversity is lost while profits are maximized. Animals are raised in mass farming operations that do not allow them to roam freely and graze on fertile lands. Fish cannot swim freely or upstream in clean waters, as is the case of farm salmon. These creatures are often force-fed industrially produced corn and grains, food that is most often not natural to them and that does not meet their nutritional needs. To compensate, they are given industrially produced mineral and vitamin supplements. Antibiotics are introduced to mediate the fact these animals are sedentary, not given the right to move, often standing in small, unsanitary quarters with their own excrement, or swimming in a confined area not unlike a jail. Cattle feedlots, for example, produce enormous quantities of methane, a gas that harms the ozone layer. In addition to the unethical treatment of animals, all industrial farming depends on fossil fuel extraction and combustion, disproportionately contributing to the climate crisis through their means of production and transportation. The industrially produced goods marketed and sold to us, whether processed or fresh, are not as nutrient or as delicious or as organically grown, life-giving food. Obesity and undernutrition are rampant across the globe, and especially in North America, where small organic family farms are disappearing. If we try to remember our peasant ways, we can plant the seeds of better tomorrows. I think this is a future worth fighting for.